Broadcasting live from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, this is TBC News, our top stories. Zanzibar eyes to be a center of excellence in medical services.
We've invested a lot at primary health care already. So I'm going to ask yourselves to look into the possibility now of moving up the ladder to secondary health care.
Tanzania strategizes to optimize wheat production.
In terms of technology, but also capability, that will also be will act as a catalyst to ensure that our production of wheat is actually competes on the world standard.
Good evening. I am Kanki Mwaigomole. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. President of Zanzibar, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, says the government of Zanzibar is committed to make the island the center of excellence for medical services in East Africa and Africa, acknowledging the World Bank's support in various areas, especially the health sector. Here are more details.
He announced the commitment when he met and held talks with the World Bank's Managing Director for the Southern African region, Milena Stefanova, who has also announced that the bank will provide about $100 million to strengthen the health sector infrastructure in the country.
Now, today we have the most important system that I want to put in place is infrastructure. We've invested a lot at primary health care already. So I'm going to ask yourselves to look into the possibility now of moving up the ladder to secondary health care. Why? Because the biggest challenge we are facing right now is referral system is not working very well. So you have very minor illnesses going to the tertiary level because the secondary level is non-existent. So we have done a lot of good district hospitals in all districts, but there's a gap between district and tertiary. There must be a regional level there, which we only have 1 out of 5. And I thought maybe this would be an area that we must strengthen so that to have a proper referral system and then we decongest the tertiary level.
President Dr. Mwinyi has directed the Ministry of Health to work closely with the World Bank's architects in innovative works that are sustainable and collaborative in nature. On the other hand, the Managing Director of the World Bank's Southern African region, Milena Stefanova, says the bank is satisfied with the ongoing efforts taken by the government of Zanzibar to strengthen health services, vowing to continue to support the island.
Deliver on the promise of disbursing the project of 50% and achieving the results. And I'm very pleased to see that he over-delivered on his promise. We are now at 65% of disbursement as we speak. And the results over the last few months have been really impressive in terms of, as he iterated, delivering on equipment, on medicines, and moving forward with the rehabilitation of the health facilities. And this is really about delivering for the people of Zanzibar. So hongera sana. And keeping our promise, we are very happy to confirm that the World Bank will be supporting the Ministry of Health in Zanzibar with additional 100 million in the next fiscal year. And I know the team has been already working on preparing for this. And we're very humbled and very privileged to have Francis with us today.
The Minister of Health in Zanzibar, Nasser Ahmed, assures that the ministry will ensure that the funds are used to achieve the intended goal of making Zanzibar the center of excellence for medical tourism, making it a healing island.
The Director General of Cereals and Other Produce Regulatory Authority, COPRA, Irene Madeje, urges local wheat stakeholders to explore better ways and technologies to boost wheat production from 100,000 metric tons to 1.5 million metric tons per year by 2035. Speaking during the inauguration of Wheat Strategies Copra Director General Madeje insists that the government has been implementing various measures such as the supply of better seeds, building of warehouses, establishment of contract agriculture rules and regulations, establishment of wheat irrigation schemes, saying it is time for private sectors and other wheat stakeholders to import new technologies to improve the production of wheat.
To import the right technology in terms of technology, but also capability that will also be will act as a catalyst to ensure that our production of wheat is actually competes on the world standard, because we are not an island. We exist in this world, and even though we have these processors in the country, but they will actually look after quality products, and they will look after affordable quality produce. So it is important that we also have a mini strategy to ensure how we can actually attract investors, big investors who will come and invest in the production of wheat in the country. And for this one, we're working with the Tanzania Investment Center, and they were here today. We are putting up a mini strategy where we will identify land, we will identify and put together investment proposals that we will go around in the world and actually attract investors to come and actually supplement, because the opportunities are enormous and we need to be able to supplement and catalyze.
Tanzania produces only 100,000 metric tons of wheat per year, while the demand is 1 million tons per year. As the result, the government, through Cereals and other Produce Regulatory Authority, COPRA, plans to increase wheat production to reach 1.5 million metric tons by 2035. In other news, the Minister of Information, Culture, Arts and Sports, Professor Palamagamba Kabudi, says the government will continue to honor the significant contribution that has been made by the former His Highness Aga Khan IV, Karim Al Hussein, particularly in enhancing human well-being through initiatives in the education and health sectors. During his remarks, while offering condolences at the Aga Khan Development Network offices in Dar es Salaam, he also encouraged the ongoing collaboration with His Highness Aga Khan V to facilitate the exchange of ideas and continue the important work initiated by his predecessor.
The areas which the new Aga Khan is interested in is climate change, environment conservation, and now also the area of artificial intelligence, to see what are the positive aspects of artificial intelligence, but also what are the negative aspects of artificial intelligence which need to be mitigated. So indeed, the legacy of Aga Khan IV will endure for ages and ages, because he invested in ordinary people, not only in Tanzania, not only in East Africa, not only Africa, but in the entire world.
On the other hand, the resident representative of the Aga Khan, Amin Kurji, says they have been actively involved worldwide in various domains, including cultural, social, and economic development. His Highness Aga Khan IV, Karim Al Hussein, began his leadership in 1957 and passed away on February the 4th of this year in Lisbon, Portugal. His successor is his son, His Highness Prince Rahim Aga Khan V. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa today has met and held talks with the European Union ambassador in the country, Christian Grau, in Dar es Salaam, insisting that Tanzania continues to promote and deepen business and investment cooperation with the European Union countries. Here are more details.
Prime Minister says Tanzania will continue to create a conducive environment for investment to attract the private sector to participate in development activities. Majaliwa insists that Tanzania acknowledges the European Union's support to development activities in the country. Earlier, the Prime Minister met with the Ambassador of the Republic of Korea, who says Korea honors cordially ties with Tanzania, which can be witnessed in various development sectors. Ambassador Ju assured the Prime Minister that during the entire period that he will serve as an ambassador in the country, that he improves the number of Korean investments in the country and open doors for Tanzanian investors to invest in the Republic of Korea.
Meanwhile, the Minister of State in the President's Office for Regional Administration and Local Government, Mohammed Mchengera, underscores the critical role that the public-private partnerships plays in driving national development agenda. Speaking at the official listing of the Samia Infrastructure Bond on the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, Mchengera highlights the crucial role of collaboration between the government and the private sectors in enhancing infrastructure investment. Rioba Stephen reports.
Launched in November last year, the Samia Infrastructure Bond has more than doubled its initial fundraising target. Managed by CRDB Bank in partnership with Tanzania Rural and Urban Road Agents, the bond is now officially listed on the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. The initial public offering raised Tanzania shilling 303 billion, surpassing the initial Tanzania shillings 150 billion target.
More than 80% of this bond has been purchased by Tanzanians, a clear testament of their commitment to national development. I want to assure you that this market plays a vital role in shaping our nation's futures because the destiny of our country is in our hands.
Meanwhile, Mr. Abdulmajid Senkela, Group CEO and Managing Director of CRDB Bank, emphasizes the significant benefits this initiative will bring to local contractors under Tarura.
It means that most of the local contractors who have been able to win tenders under Tarura infrastructure projects, they will be financed by CRDB, and this is to support them during the period when they're raising certificates. We understand that they have been given a contract to perform the period, they have to raise certificates. But that certificate must be verified, certified before being paid. And this is a period of about 2 months. During this period, the program must continue, and that's where CRDB will chip in.
So we call upon other banks, financial institutions, and other companies and parastatals in the public sector to partner with the other institutions in the private sector and use opportunities in the capital market to raise funds that can be used to finance different development projects, as the case that Tarura and CRDB has done.
This marks the first infrastructure bond of its kind where a commercial bank has collaborated with the government to introduce such an investment opportunity. A total of 6,896 individuals investors participated, contributing Tanzania shillings 204.1 billion, with 94% of transactions conducted digitally. Rioba Stephen, TBC.
About 90% of Tanzania's marine resources are not used to the maximum in the country due to various reasons, including the lack of detailed research, technology, and education on marine resources. Speaking during the launch of a special forum on coastal issues, where the director of the National Environment Management Council, NEMC, Dr. Immaculate Semesi, said the forum will stimulate the marine resources sustainability and the implementation of the Blue Economy Policy. Here's a report by Levi Myra, read by Faiza Ngaga.
The sea is life. Marine ecosystems provide water, clean air, food, medicine, raw materials, transportation, tourism, employment, and even natural protection against soil erosion.
We have only utilized less than 10% of this resource. We have a number of opportunities if we will take care of our coastline and our ocean. It can be used in sectors such as tourism, energy, and resource extraction.
The efforts to ensure more people are aware of what sea does to the earth, they call for a full implementation of the Blue Economy Policy in Tanzania, mainland and islands at the same time.
For instance, in the Matumbawe area, fishermen use nets. There is an overflow of tourists that exceed the reef's ability to support so many people. As a result, there are challenges along the coast, such as cutting down mangrove trees, which are essential for the ocean.
Having this body will oversee the maritime sector and will enhance opportunities available in our ocean. We're working towards preserving our oceans. which will make it continue to grow as a center of tourism in our country.
The marine science experts believe that through this platform, technology and research on marine resources, which will equip local fishermen with more capabilities, even to fish in deep sea.
For the ocean to provide the opportunities, we need research. Research is important to understand the existing opportunities in the ocean and its benefits. Another aspect is technology. Now we are using modern technology to understand the condition of the ocean. This provides data and strengthens the blue economy.
It is a special platform that brings together policymakers, public and private organizations to achieve the water sources conservation goal as defined by the United Nations through the Sustainable Development Program's SDGs, which is also part of the Nairobi Resolution and the African Union Plan 2063.
Before we wind up our local news tonight, let's take a look at the exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday. It's now time for the international news. And here's the international news with Lulua Muhammad.
The meeting between Russia and U.S. delegates on the Ukraine war has concluded in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The meeting was led by the Russian foreign minister and lasted for 4.5 hours. The U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says that U.S. and Russia agreed to create a team to negotiate on Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said his country will not take part in the talks since it was not invited. On the other hand, the French president called an emergency meeting on Monday involving European countries to discuss strategies in support for Ukraine. A Delta Airlines plane has landed in Toronto, Canada's largest city, but all 80 people on board have survived. At least 18 people were injured after the plane flipped upside down as it landed at Toronto Pearson International Airport on Monday amid windy weather following a snowstorm. Experts say a plane flipping upside down is unusual but not unknown. They speculate that this happened due to the snowy, windy Toronto weather. The Transportation Safety Board is putting together a team of investigators to probe the crash. While flights have resumed at the airport, authorities warn there could be operational delays since 2 runways have been closed for investigation. The death toll from flooding in Kentucky rose to 11 on Monday, with the potential to increase further as the state was due to get pummeled by a snowstorm that could jeopardize relief efforts. Such teams conducted more than 1,000 rescue missions in the wake of flash flooding that affected nearly all of Kentucky and several surrounding states on Saturday. Hundreds of people were displaced, more than 14,000 homes and businesses remained without power, and another 17,000 had no water.
And that was the international news with Lulua Muhammad. And in sports news, Simba Sports Club coach Fadlu Davis says the team is well prepared to face Namungo Football Club playing at their home ground Majaliwa Stadium in Ruangwa, Lindi tomorrow. Coach Davis adds that the preparation is highly based on how they will attack them and score goals to win the game and take all vital 3 points so as to keep pressure on the league leader of Young Africans.
Preparations have gone well. Of course, the match of Dodoma that was postponed gave us a little bit more time to prepare. Gave the players some time off, and then of course a full week to prepare this match. We prepared this match.
Simba is second in the Tanzania Premier League table with 47 points, 5 points behind Young Africans, who top the league table with 52 points. Azam Football Club is still in third place with 42 points. And that is sports news for now. Before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Good evening, dear viewer. Welcome to the next 24 hours forecast, starting tonight at 9 p.m. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, my name is Ramadan Omari. Wind is expected to flow at 30 kilometers per hour over the northern coast and the southern coast. And the side of the sea is expected to be moderate. Over Lake Victoria and Lake Nyasa, wind speed is expected to reach 20 kilometers per hour. While over Lake Tanganyika, wind speed is expected to reach 10 kilometers per hour. And the side of the lake is expected to be slight. And tonight, a few areas, especially in Kigoma and the Katavi regions, are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers. While over the southeastern highland and the Ruvuma region, we are expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, light rain showers over a few areas. And the remaining regions are expected to feature partly cloudy conditions. And tomorrow in Kagera, Geita, in the western part of our country, we are expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over a few areas and sun periods. Over southeastern highland, southern part of Morogoro region and the Ruvuma, we are expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, rain showers over a few areas and sun periods. Over Lindi and Mtwara regions, we are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, light rain showers over a few areas and sun periods. And the remaining regions are expected to feature partly cloudy conditions and sun periods. And in terms of maximum temperature, we are expecting warm to hot temperature to persist over some areas of our country, especially over the coastal areas and the northwestern highland. And the highest maximum temperature is expected to be 35 degrees Celsius in Dar es Salaam, Pwani, and the Kilimanjaro region. And now let's have a look on the next 4 days of forecast over some regions of our country. In Dar es Salaam, maximum temperature is expected to be 34 up to 35 degrees Celsius. In Dodoma, light rains are expected in a few areas. In Mbeya, we're expecting rain showers in a few areas.